Joining the Marines nearly ruined my life. This guy sounds like a drama queen. Let's go.
My experience in the Marine Corps. What can I say about such a polarizing and I'd almost say a terrible experience? Like, whew, it was, I want to say it was good because of the people that I met. But at the same time, I want to say it was really bad because of the people that I met. I know in the first 2 years.
All right, this guy's a real Einstein. What the hell does he expect? Yeah, it's good because the people I met, bad because the people I met. It's like a double negative. So it means nothing, or the people you meet when you're 17, 18 are going to be influential in your life. So I don't know what this jackass is talking about.
Because, so for the ones that don't know, when you enlist in the Marine Corps, you have to pass through a series of exams. An ASVAB score is basically an aptitude test, and then there's a physical examination for qualifying to enlist in the Marine Corps. Once you pass those things, which took me a while, I actually lost a lot of weight. At the time, before joining the Marine Corps, I was about 190, and then I lost about 40 pounds to get in. Whew, I was real thin at that time. I was about 150, and I'm only about 5'8", so I was pretty well out there. So when I first joined, so at the time I joined in as an admin clerk, and I really didn't know what I was getting into. I was doing a lot of in the beginning you do a lot of boot camp, so you do things like.
The beginning you do a lot of boot camp. This must be totally a hoax. It's supposed to be legit, like from some Reddit forum where people do a stupid cartoon about it. You know, I think the concept was interesting when one of you guys sent it to me, because people have no perspective. Whether you join the Marine Corps or you went to work at Arby's somewhere, it's called life when you're young. You're not going to like parts, you're going to love other parts.
Like going underneath freaking simulations of kicking down the door, going through some sand, arms bleeding, freaking drill instructors calling you a piece of garbage because they don't have any kind of respect for you and they're not supposed to. I've never been treated like a piece of crap that much ever in my life. Like, I've been treated like a piece of crap, but whoa, man, they would treat me. There was a time where I had to use the bathroom in boot camp.
You know what the big shock factor is for most people is they've never been disciplined before. So if your parents never said no, whacked you on your ass when you're out of line, you know, did typical discipline like you'd expect a few times you need as a youngster. You get in the Marine Corps and somebody says to you, hey, do this, do that, and they discipline you. Now it's a big shock to the system.
Camp. And the guy timed me. He said, you got. I think it was around 50 seconds. This guy tells me, you have about 50 seconds. And so I'm like, oh, I really needed to pee. And I run up to the bathroom. And then he times me down. He's like, you have 10, 9, 6, 7, 9. He literally timed me with just seconds, like 10 seconds. He didn't even give me 50. He gave me 10 seconds. This guy, the drill instructor, went like this. You have 10, 9, 6, 7, 8, 5, 3, 2, 1. Boom, you're done. Get out. And then I was like, whoa, I didn't even hear some numbers in there. It sounded exactly like that. And I had to rush out. I didn't even finish peeing. I did like half of it, and I had to clip the rest of it. And it was the most painful.
How this ruined this snowflake's life is beyond me. So far, it sounds like, I mean, I don't know what you expect. You go to sign up. It's not 1910, right? Where you don't know what the Marine Corps is like. This is relatively recent, so he's got a pretty good clue what the Marine Corps is like. It's not going to be fun. It's not a bachelor party. There's not strippers and drugs. You got to move on, bro.
Thing ever. I never felt like my bladder was going to explode since I was in the Marine Corps during boot camp. And even afterwards. So usually you do boot camp for about 3 months. And depending on what kind of job you have, let's say if you're an infantry person, an infantryman, you're staying there for about a couple of months, more than just 3 months. You're staying there for 6 to 7 months. But mind you, this is after boot camp training. So boot camp is usually just 3 months. And then people with normal jobs, like I would say some kind of janitorial job, cooking job, admin job.
All right, this guy's totally full of. There's no janitorial job. That's called an E2, cleaning up the barracks. I don't know what this dude's talking about. I think this must be a bullshit video. Let's keep going.
Intelligence job. You do a Marine Corps kind of course, and that course is about, I'd say, a month. And then usually the individuals with infantry or more of the action-orientated jobs, they would stay in another kind of training. I believe it was called the infantry battalion training of some sort. They would stay in there for, I'd say, like I said earlier, about 7 to 8 months or even longer, or even a year at times. After you do the couple of months of training, then you end up going to a new place to do your training for your job. Then you learn how to do your job, which can take another couple of months. And then after you do the training for your job, then you actually start doing the actual Marine Corps stuff. And I must say, the first 2 years was pretty cool because I was actually sent to the UK and I met a lot of great people there. I actually learned how to break dance. I learned how to do some salsa dancing. Ooh. It was funny because it was with Russians and they really knew how to like.
All right, this guy's totally full of shit. I'm going to give this a few more seconds, perhaps.
Kill it. They would be telling me how to dance, and they'd be like, you got to move your hips more. And the guy would, this old white guy would just come at me and be like, you got to move your hips. And he'd move my hips, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. It was a really cool experience. I got to use a lot of their transportation. The transportation
let's keep going,
about
turd
2
boy.
or 3 years. And because my contract was only 4 years, I only stayed in the UK for about 2 years, and then I had to go somewhere else. So I was sent.
Where's the life ruining part
at? A lot
at?
of conflict. I had a lot of conflicting leaders. They would lie to me. They would tell stories about me that were wrong. They were pretty obnoxious. They were rude. They made.
Oh, I see. He's the guy that's a big screw up. So of course they lied about him. And now he's going to say it's the leader's fault because he was such a good young man, young Marine, that the leaders must have been lying about him. I see where this goes.
Fun of me for my medical problems that I was only inquiring. I mean, they were pretty much having me exercise. We had this period of time where we were running pretty much marathons. And the gunnery sergeant, which is like a higher ranked individual.
This has got to be a hoax. He doesn't know what a gunnery sergeant is, running marathons. You know, he was the light duty, PFC Lance Corporal that everyone hated to work with because he bitched about everything. I mean, you can see where he needs some cheese with this wine he's serving us.
This guy had us running 9 miles in boots like every other day. This guy was crazy, man. And he was like, oh, I love this. A 9-mile run, 8-mile run. And I was like, dude, this is not good, man. I just had a lot of bad leadership during my time in Pensacola, but I had great leadership in the UK. The UK was such a memorable place. Everybody was nice. Everybody would talk to you. Even when I went to like clubs, I see people like peeing on the streets. I was like, whoa, they're drunk, but it's cool because
all right, how that's cool, people pissing on the street. I don't know how much more of this I can take. This guy is a total wackadoodle.
Everybody's just nice, but when I was in Pensacola, Florida, that wasn't so much the case. It was ultimately, I didn't have great leadership. I had some good friends. I even converted to being a vegan after my time at the end of my contract over there in Pensacola, Florida. And it was a good time when I had friends and when they actually moved me from the current leadership that I had, because I had to be moved from the leadership because there was a lot of lies going around. I had a pretty rough.
All right, you know why I'd be moved? Because he was a turd. Let's just end the video on that. This guy was a turd because everywhere he goes, the leadership's terrible, except when he's in the UK and people are pissing in the streets. He loves that. But everywhere he goes elsewhere, the leadership's terrible. I'll see you in the next video.